we're looking at Brown Trout Blues today by Flynn. This is a Patreon request by Beans. It's pretty, in essence, it's like one big chunk that we play for this song. It goes round and round. There's the intro, and then the first verse is very slightly different, and there's a couple of tiny modifications, but we'll talk about them as we go through. And then there's the end, the outro, which is also a little bit different. But so mostly we'll just be talking about this one thing. He plays it live with a capo on 5 and a bit quicker, but on the record he plays it capo on 4. So we'll have a look at capo on 4 and we'll play it at the speed of the record. He uses a pick most of the way through. Normally I'd say it doesn't really matter, but for this song it's pretty cool with the pick, so I'm going to be playing it with a pick. So let's do a playthrough and then we'll crack into it. Okay, so as a rhythm, it's really loose. He's kind of playing different all the time, but our bass rhythm is we're doing this nice and slow, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and with quite a lot of swing. So just a down up. Okay, but there's lots of just picking fairly random strings. We'll talk about when he picks not random strings, and sometimes as well it's a good technique, we'll see it on the F mostly, where you're picking the bass with the pick and then you're picking the thin string with your ring finger, or you're picking with the B string with your middle finger. So if you don't know how to do that technique, that's a good little exercise to practice picking the bass with the pick and then picking up with either your ring or your middle finger. So we'll go through it bit by bit. We'll look at the intro first. Flynn, whenever he plays C, tends to play C over G. So if we take a C, we're then moving our ring finger up 1 to get the G, and then we're bringing our little finger in to play the C, relative to the capo. So, our first chord is a C. And then we're going to see this riff over and over again. So we're doing a down strum and then an up strum. Then we do a down strum and we're going to hammer on the 2nd fret of the D string. Then we do an up strum. All these strums are very thin. We're not doing big strums. They're very kind of aiming for the middle strings. Then we're going to do a down strum and do a hammer on pull off on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then do another down strum. We're going to hammer back into the 2nd fret of the D. Up strum. And then try and pick the C to finish. So again, down strum, up strum, hammer on the D, up strum, hammer on pull off, hammer onto the D again, up strum, aim for the C. Okay, then we come to this G, and again he plays a G6, Flynn. He doesn't tend to play much of a normal G. So we're going to play just 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A, middle finger 3rd fret of the bass. And it's pretty much the same rhythm. We're going to go down, up, then you're going to hammer in your index finger, up strum, kind of picking the D, And then you're going to hammer into the 3rd fret of the D string to make a G7, up strum, and then you're going to pick the 2nd, well, move your index finger down to the 2nd fret of the D, open, C. Okay? Then we do this riff, which we're going to see over and over again. We've kind of done the 2 main aspects of it already in the intro. We're going to do a half a bar of C, half a bar of G. So that's the bar. So it's a C chord, so C of G. I'm going to keep calling it C from now on. Down, up. Then we do a hammer on to the 2nd fret of the G. And then when you take it off, you do the up strum. So the first half. Then you come back to that G. Down, up. And then you do the down strum, hammer in your 2nd fret, your 2nd finger. And then you're going to do an up strum. So down, up. So together. And then we go back to that first rhythm. Okay, so that is the intro. I'll play it nice and slow. Then we come into the verse. The first verse, he plays this extra line that he doesn't play on any of the other verses. So we'll have a look at that. We start on a C, and we're going to go really loose for 1 bar, just down and up. And the key with this is not to do big strums. You just maybe do a small strum, and then maybe do a pick with, pick a note out with your pick. Just keeping it really loose and then flowing through. Then do the same thing on that G. He tends to stay a bit more bassy on the G. And then you come back into the thing we had in the intro. Okay, that's the first line. Second line, we stay on the C for 2 bars. And this is the first time he starts to really pick out that little finger. We're going down, up, and then we do down, and tends to pick that one with his ring finger. So the 2 and effectively. So 1 and 2 and. And obviously you can vary it a little bit if you want to use your middle finger or things like that. So 2 bars of C. Then we come into this A minor, we do a strum, and then we're going to hammer on the 1st fret of the B, and then we're going to pick out the thin string again with our finger. You can also throw in an up strum there, which he does sometimes, doesn't always. And then we have our first bit where he comes over and kind of gets this A minor with a B in the bass. Sorry, we're going... there's a strum in between. So, what that is, we've done the hammer on. There's a strum again of the A minor. Move your 2 fingers up, so it's effectively like an E minor, and then you're holding your steel index where it is, and then hammer back into the A minor. So, and then finish the bar. So that bit all together with the C. And then we have this bit which repeats for a little while. We come to this G, we stay on the bassy strings for a bar. F. The F, he has a bit more of a pattern, so we're going to go down strum, pick out the thin string with your ring finger, go back for a bassy down strum, and then pick the B string with your middle finger. So 1 and 2 and then finish the bar. So from the G, back into our riff. And instead of hitting the C to end, you're going to come to a G. It's exactly the same. Back to the G, then the F again. Then we just come to a bar of C. Bar of G. And then the riff to finish. From here, when he comes back into it, he stays on C. So he goes straight into the C A minor bit rather than the initial start. So we go back to that C A minor. So I'll just play you those last bits, the G, F, C, G, C, then G, F, the long C, G, and then the riff to finish. Okay. There's one other little change. On the third verse, instead of playing a C in that last line, G, F, C, G, he plays G, F, A minor, G. Same deal, you just play an A minor rather than a C. And then on the final verse, he plays an A minor there and holds it. So this is the outro. So if we talk from the G, F, and then he just does a single strum A minor, holds it for a bar, does it again, then comes to an F single strum, and then we have this chromatic rundown. We start on the G, on the bass, we go 3, 2, 1, then you walk back up, walk back down, pick the F again, and you go 1, 3, 1, and then C over G to finish. So just play you through the outro. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that lesson. There's more Johnny Flynn lessons you can check out here. There's a bunch of other lessons and covers and things like that, so I hope to see you around the channel soon.